lovelies. Welcome to the dollhouse, or welcome back if you've been here. Brain fog. Brain fog has me, but I'm trying. I have so much stuff that I need to do. It's really unsettling. But stuff to do is not a bad thing. I had posted on my Twitter, my X. Nobody calls it X. Does anybody call it X? I posted on my Twitter that I was selling things to raise funds for a walker because I usually use a cane on my right side because my right knee likes to decide to kneecap dislocate. So I usually use a cane on my right side. But since I got my tunneled catheter, I am not supposed to use a cane until it's set. Now the problem I have with the tunneled catheter is when they put the catheter in, they put it in your neck. It goes, one side of it goes into your heart, and the other side you can feel tunneled down to where the exit is. And at the exit of the tunneled catheter, you have the tunneled catheter lumens that you connect to your nutrition or you get your blood drawn with. The tunneled catheter itself has a little cuff that is built into the center of it that I can't remember what it's made of. I want to say Delrin, but I don't know if that's the right thing because Delrin was used to make drip tips back in the day when we first started vaping, and vaping wasn't really a thing. So I might be close but off, but it's got this little cuff in it that once, your entry wound starts healing, your exit wound where the tube comes out, your tissue is supposed to grab onto that cuff and start healing around it to heal it into place. My collagen machine is broken with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, so I don't always heal properly. Sometimes I overheal, sometimes I underheal. And I believe it was about a month ago, my nurse was out sick. My usual Monday change dressing nurse was out sick. And they sent somebody else that's not used to me. I understand that I am a little bit much. I understand that when you have a piece of paper that says patient has central tunnel line, needs dressing change, take labs, you don't expect to see. And here I am. So that nurse was very upset. She had 2 patients scheduled that day and had 20 more added on to her caseload, which I really don't think was any of my information, but she kept telling me this. And I'm trying to explain to her, I can't use this because I'm allergic to this. I don't have this supply because I'm allergic to that. These are the ones we use. I have all the nursing stuff out on my tray because I have a tray that I use for all my infusion supplies. While she was cleaning, I'm not sure that this is what caused it, but while she was cleaning my line, it's on an anchor. Right here. You can't really see it too well, but it's called a stat lock. And it has 2 pins, and it has 2 locking little plastic flaps that you put the pins of the line in. You put the pinholes of the line on the pins, and then you close the thing. So that keeps it in place. So that way, if something pulls on it, it's going to pull on the adhesive of the stat lock before it pulls on your actual line. Well, she had taken my stat lock off to clean everything, and I am allergic to chlorhexidine. Go figure, the one thing they use to clean everything. So I tried to tell her that my nurse uses iodine and then cleans that with alcohol, so I don't have, you know, big yellow blotch. She said, you can't be allergic to chlorhexidine. And at that point, you kind of have to give up with the advice because they're not going to listen. Well, she took my line when she was cleaning and she pulled my line up to clean under it. Whereas my usual nurse gently lifts and cleans under and puts it back down, she pulled it up. And there was an immediate loud shrieking noise that exited my person. And my nurse that just came, today it's Wednesday, my nurse that just came Monday looked at me and said, it's not seated anymore. She said, it's still not seated. Which means that whatever healing I did around that cuff was damaged, and now my line is mobile. Once it heals in, you're not supposed to be able to move the line at all. If you take the stat lock off, you're not supposed to be able to physically move the line. And mine hasn't sealed yet. So I put a call out up on Twitter and said that everything that I sell, from either instant messages with custom orders or anything off of my Buy Me a Coffee site, is going to go towards a walker, because I can't lean on my cane because that puts too much pressure on the right side of my chest, and we don't want any kind of pressure or disruptance while we're trying to heal. So a random stranger messaged me, which I have my DMs open because I sell things, so the DMs are open. And a random stranger messaged me and she said, I know I don't know you, and I know you don't know me, and you have no reason to trust me, but I'm kind of local, and I have a walker that I used after knee surgery. Would you want it? Yes. Yes, I would. And then we figured out that even though she's only one state away, postage would have been stupid. So she sent me one from Amazon instead. She said it was cheaper just to buy one off of Amazon than to send me her used walker. So I am ecstatic. I took it out for a stroll yesterday. It's the first time I have gone out for a walk that wasn't like walking to a doctor's office or to a hospital. And it was so nice. I've been beating myself up about having to get a walker because it's weird being the same age as old people. But yeah, I'm good. I'm old people. That walker was really nice and it helps a whole lot. The only caveat was, since it was gifted to me, I didn't get to pick the color, which is not a huge deal. It's functional, it works. And I am so appreciative of it. And without knowing me, she got me one that is bright, like obnoxiously light blue, like Grumpy Bear over there. It's about that color. So I'm going, okay. Has a little bag under the seat. That's cool. It has little brakes. It supports my butt if I need to sit down, which I haven't needed to sit down, but I sat down on it in the house just to test it out because, you know, you got to. So now my brain is going, now I have to make it me. I don't have a whole lot of blue. Blue is not my thing. I have a lot of teal. I have a lot of green. I don't have a lot of bright blue. Bright colors are not usually my thing. I say that as I'm wearing a pastel tie-dye, but that's for easy access to the lumens. So, you know. So I dug through my stash. I don't even think they make these anymore. Anybody remember the sweet roll sprinkles? Yeah, I have all kinds of stuff in my stash. I fell in love with these sweet roll sprinkles when I first started to rediscover crochet. Sweet roll was my go-to, but these sprinkles got me. I had them in every color. I still have a couple. I only had one in periwinkle sprinkle is what they call this. Just like sweet rolls. Same yardage, same yarn, same everything. I have to finish this up, but I've made myself a little bag. I have to sew a button on still. It is not done yet. But I made myself a little bag, and I think I'm going to split this in half, because if I do a seam right up the middle, this side will be exactly perfect for water bottles, and then I can stick whatever else in here. So that's my quest for today. I am going to crochetify my walker. I've also come across this while I was digging through my skeins, and this is probably one of those I am so done with it kind of things, and was just, I have to cake this up because this makes me sad. So I'm going to try to cake this up because I have a little bit of toffee brickle from Hirschner's Specs that look really nice with brown. I also took my big scrap bag and I have made a chaos ball from all of my scraps. I did a whole bunch of surgeon knots. You can see one of them here. I did a whole bunch of surgeon knots and took my entire bag of scraps that were approximately the same texture, and I made a chaos ball. So I will be making chaos blankies from the chaos ball. I need to think of more things to crochetify on my walker, because I will need a water bottle holder once it gets warmer. And I'm thinking of making like a seat cover for it. I'm thinking of making a seat cover for it. There's not a whole lot to crochet on a rollator because it's folding, so you don't want to put anything on the foldy parts. Nicotine of the day is Marketplace. Peach, pineapple, menthol. I have no idea what it's actually called because it's over there somewhere and I'm not looking for it. But yeah, that's going to be my day. It's rainy and it's yucky, and I'm glad I took a walk yesterday because I cannot take a walk in the rainy yucky today. So today will just be crochetifying my walker, and because I'm basically 12 years old in my head, I will be looking for vinyl stickers to put on it. I already took one of my smaller logo stickers and put my logo on it. So that was the first thing. Before we even took a walk, as soon as it got put together, it got a logo sticker on it. So, going to be figuring out crochetifying things. And there are a whole lot of caddies and bags and things to attach to your walker tutorials, but they're all pretty much the same thing. They're all rectangular, they're all about this high, and they all tie onto the walker. So I'm looking to do something different. So I figured I'd try a little bag first. And this can just, see, and then you look at the construction of the walker. This can either hang from it's stretchy, it'll work. This can either hang from the backrest, or I can hang it kind of goofy sideways from the handle once I get that center seam put in. The only thing I really need to worry about is having a water bottle holder. So I think I'm actually going to take a water bottle and crochet around it and make myself a nice water bottle holder to put on the side of it. And if I can find a color that goes with it that I like enough, I'm thinking seat cover. So, besides that, my latest venture has been small craft forms. Crinkly noise. So I've been picking up some of these and playing with those. I had one of those in my last video. Usually you just single crochet around it and then double crochet and it makes a little ruffle. So I've been playing with forms like that to make decor. If you're going to start out, I would suggest hearts or circles. I would not suggest stars or moon shapes because points and crocheting around those points can be difficult. So try to stick with a rounder shape where you have less points to deal with. It's also a good scrap project. I'm still getting updates on my sock knitter. My sock knitter is going to be purple and green, and I think it's going to have my logo on it, but I'm not sure. I don't want to ask too many questions of somebody that's doing something in barter, because if I'm paying for it with my money, I can complain all I want. But if I'm bartering for it, I don't think that gives me room to complain. I'm not a complaining person in general. I mean, I have your typical bitchy old lady thing going on my off days, but, you know, I try not to. I try not to complain. Since it is rainy and yucky, today is going to be a medication and movie day, I think. I gotta figure out something to do with the puzzle cotton that I wanted in the eBay fundraiser, which, if you watched that video, I said I was going to tell you where the fundraiser came from, but brain doesn't always work. So I tagged it this morning. I found her again this morning and I tagged it. So it does have a tag in the description where I got the puzzle cotton from, but I'm looking for ideas for the puzzle cotton that is not a sweater. I think I'm going to try to make a picnic blanket, and I think I'm going to try to make a wrap. I've never used the beehive skeins of yarn. I mean, cakes are my go-to. Regular skeins I'm used to. Hanks terrify the crap out of me, only because I don't have a Swift, and I have tried to crochet with thinner yarn, and I don't know whether I have big clunky hands or if I just need to get used to it more. But I am not a tiny crocheter. I bought a couple skeins of Alizé. I don't know. It's an ombre. It goes from navy on the outside to gray on the inside. And they were $20 a skein. And I bought it to make for my friend's grandmother. And I tried 6 different hook sizes. I tried different knots. I tried different stitches. I can't get it to look like a 5th grader didn't do it. And I mean like a 5th grader that does not know how to crochet. I'm sure there's a lot of 5th graders that crochet much better. But it just isn't happening. So we are digging around for still the perfect navy ombre for Gammy's wrap. So beyond that, that's my excitement. I think that's my excitement for the day. I have to figure out things to crochet for my walker since I can't walk anywhere. And you know what? If you're feeling bad about having to get yourself a mobility aid, don't. I waited way too long to get a cane. It really did. It helped a lot. It really felt bad not being able to use my cane after I got so used to it. I have started to hang on to the corners of walls in my house. And getting a walker is so much better than hanging on the walls in the house or hanging on to my son's arm like we're just newly engaged. Well, you know, the little bit of independence and freedom you can feel just being able to say, I'm going for a walk around the street. I can't do that until my family is sure that I'm not going to fall. But now I can say, hey, you want to go for a walk? And we can go for a walk. It's lovely. It is. What I find upsetting about the whole situation is I was talking to the lovely lady that donated this to me in DMs, and I put a thank you up on Twitter, and I said, you know, this just arrived at my door and it was completely donated and I didn't pay for it, and I am sending her a wrap that she said she liked off of my Buy Me a Coffee page, so that's going out to her. But I couldn't mention her in the post, and I sent her a direct message and said, I would love to, you know, put up a post that says this is the person who sent it to me and I am entirely grateful, but I can't, because if I put their name up on Twitter that they sent me a walker, they're gonna be just inundated with people looking for free stuff. And I said, I feel bad. I want to mention you in my Twitter thank you, but I'm afraid it's gonna just draw scammers to you. So know that I am grateful. I know that I wanted to tag you. And she said, you know, I never thought of that. I appreciate you looking out for me. Because if you've been on Twitter or the internets or the earth, you know that a lot of people will do stupid things to get things they don't have to pay for. Hello, Miss Argyle. Cattail. So, she appreciated that I thought of her that way. It just, the scammers screw it up for us people that are really actually trying to hustle to pay bills. And I hate the word hustle, but that's what everybody considers it. When I was a kid, hustle meant scam. If you ran a hustle, you were scamming people. Now hustle means you're shaking your ass for business. But it's really not. It's, you know, I'm trying to provide a worthwhile product for people so I can pay my medical bills, which I don't consider a hustle. I mean, 9 out of 10 times, that money doesn't go to fun stuff. And when it does go to fun stuff, it goes to yarn for another custom order. But I'm trying to use the yarn I have, so I'm trying to like, hey, you wanted something blue, but how about this? I'm trying to use the yarn I have, so I don't have to buy anymore. I know, she knows that the camera can't see her. And I really wish you could see her. But she is not a camera kitty. When I say hi, you just say hi real quick. I know you don't like cameras. Say hi to the people. This is my Mush Argyle. She's my kitty nurse. You can sit back down. I'm sorry. I know. I know I picked you up. I'm sorry. When I got Argyle, I was on a pick line. No. When I got Argyle, I was on a feeding tube that went directly to my stomach. So, she knows about feeding tubes. She knows about pick lines. She is now learning about central tunnel catheter lines. And she's really good. She knows to stay off of my stuff. And she knows that my tray is for infusion stuff. And that it has to be clean and she's not allowed on it. And she knows the backpack is for infusion stuff and she can't scratch on it and she can't sit on it. Although occasionally she will test her boundaries. She's a good cat. Huh. My RJ Barjay. RJ Barjay. Anywho, I am going to finish crocheting my little bag for my walker and see if I can figure out how to make a seat cover. I'm thinking if I half double and then single crochet all the way around, then I should be able to just cinch it over the seat and not have to like sit on the floor and crochet around the seat. That's where brain's going right now. So, we're going to try that. Thank you for joining me. And Argyle, even though she doesn't like to be on camera. And I will be back when I have something new. As always, thank you for joining me. Like, subscribe, all the things. Be nice, be kind to yourself. Get that mobility aid, because it doesn't mean you're old. It just means you'll be able to walk better. And sprinkle kindness like seeds. Or cat hair. It's free. Until next time. Goodbye, lovelies.